Hello everyone, it's Sylvia from Feel Like Tarot. Welcome to my channel. So 6 months ago, we moved to a new place, and that gave me the possibility to rearrange my entire collection. And I actually reached out to you because I was at a bit of an impasse, and I couldn't really decide how to best store my decks, whether I wanted to divide them between tarot and oracle, or perhaps by theme, or perhaps by how I pair them up. But I was kind of lost because I was really tired and I had all of these boxes, and I received so many suggestions and such precious advice that I'm very grateful to all of you for reaching out to me. And I just wanted to show you after 6 months the result of all that. So in the meantime, I did buy a few more decks, and I also had to rehome a few decks. So right now we stand at a count of 512. So 512 decks between tarot and oracle and Lenormand and other divination systems like Keeper, for example. And it is a bit of a mix between indie, so independently published decks, and mass market published decks. Let's have a look. Okay, so I decided to go ahead and accept the suggestion that many of you actually made to use both a trolley, which is this one here, as you can see, and shelves. And I have to say, it actually really works well for me because on the one hand, I can move the trolley around, and I can also make sure to change the decks that are in the trolley. So for example, I can decide that on the top level, I will have the decks that I'm using for the season. Then on the middle level, I can have the decks that I'm going to work with for my members. And then on the bottom level, I decide that I want to put all of the decks that I might want to use next month, for example. But in other cases, it might be new decks that arrive that I still want to bond with and I haven't had the time yet. There's a lot of different reasons why I may want to choose the trolley, and it was a fantastic idea. As you can see, I've got a few gems here. This is the Grand Berlin, for example. That's another really fantastic deck, a very old one. It's the Il Tarocco di Colombo. It has been published by Etel Cards, and it's by Amerigo Folchi. And then I've got all of my Il Meneghello decks, as you can see here. And then I've got other gems. I got my minis here, all of my minis. There's more. And then I've got some of my De Vecchi publications. So De Vecchi is the publisher of Lo Scrigno degli Oracoli, for example, or Tarocchi Giapponese, Japanese tarot. And then I have a couple of decks that I just got in my collection that I haven't had time to bond with, or that I loved so much that I really want to spend more time with. And then we go to this level, and we still have a couple of really old ones. These two are really old in my collection. Then we got my Honasa House 4 decks, and a couple of other decks that are there for no particular reason. Sometimes I just, when I work on a video, for example, I just put them back in not necessarily the order I always have them in. And on the lower level, we've got a couple of new decks, a couple of decks that I really want to work with, like for example the Circle of Doors Tarot, the Penumbra Tarot, the Gothmancy. And at the back we have another few decks that I'm working with, the Liberation Tarot, for example. And so that's just for the trolley. So when it comes to the shelves instead, so these are being considered for some kind of a assessment whether I want them to stay in my collection or not. And then I am working with these books for my members. We're doing the last video about the Down the Rabbit Hole Japan Supernatural, and so I'm basically studying all my yokai books. And then it comes to these Beauties at the back. I'm very proud of the original Llewellyn version of the Gaian Tarot, and also the Tarot as color. Also, I have the Oreste Zevola, which is a really old deck, an Italian deck, and it's just absolutely fantastic. And as you can notice, this is just, let's say, this is the deepest and the tallest of the shelves in my, well, in my library, basically. And I've decided to put all of the decks that come in a larger kind of box. And then you'll see there is some kind of an order in the sense that we've got the Bone Storm, the Tarot Arthurian, and the Tarot of Echoes, which have all been illustrated by Anatorian, although my Tarot of the Abyss is in a different shelf. But I do try and find some kind of an order. So these are all tarot decks, for example. And so this is the mid shelf. And we got, even in here, I'll have to say, mostly indie decks, but no, that's not true, because at the back you see some mass market publications as well. As you can imagine, because these ones are at the back, it's not they're not used as much as the ones that are at the front. And so what happened was that for the bottom level, I actually chose not to put any decks at the back, because otherwise it would be very difficult for me to use them, because they're not as easily, or they're not as accessible. And I just love the tarot. Pop culture is just absolutely fantastic. So I want to keep it close to my desk, because I really want to keep on using it. And the same goes with the Witch Sister Tarot, which is superb. So these are all tarot decks, and that's one trolley and one shelf, and we'll have a look at another shelf. So this is another shelf, and these are all my scrapbooking supplies. And this is part of the same jewelry again, and these are decks. So these are all tarot decks as well. And in here, I also try and find some kind of an order. You'll see the Dark Mansion and the Slavic Legends, for example, are together. The two Bohemian Gothic Tarot are together. Decks that I tend to want to use together, like the Drowning World, the Lost Tarot, and the Carnival at the End of the World are together. These tend to be decks that I use all the time, and you will see the Savvy Soul, the Slow Tarot, the Modern Seer, but also, for example, the New Moon or the Habitual Traum Tarot. And there's also, you know, the Gnostic Tarot, which is the green one there, which is one that I really want to start using, but I never find the time. And these are all my Los Scarabeo decks. So I put these deluxe boxes first, because it's just easier to keep them all together. And then all of the tap boxes. Some of them are really old, like for example, the Manara Tarot is super old. I think it's one of the first editions. The Crystal Tarot is very old as well. That was a gift from one of my subscribers. And I've got a few, but this one is in a bag because I bought it on eBay. It was the Dylan Dog Tarot, the full 78 cards. I also have the Majors Only, which is from 1991, which I'm very proud of. A very old Circle of Life Tarot without the dot at the back, so it's very difficult for me to understand which way is up. And then all of these ones from the Total Tarot magazine collection, which I had to stop because they just stopped sending stuff to me. So I just, yeah, at a certain point I just cancelled. More recent decks, and we got stuff in bags. And sometimes I have to confess, even though I did publish a video in which I was going through some of my bags, I still, I mean, in some cases I remember, but sometimes I just switch the bag, which doesn't help. And then some of the big ones here, big names. So you got the Yokai Yochi, the Healing Waves, the Somnia, the Spirit Keeper. One of my favorite, which is the Tarot Landscapes. And then we've got the Tilwick. We got the two Monica Kliosaki's deck, so the Saki Saki Tarot and the I Am the Artist. We got two Tarot of the Holy Spectrum. We got the Czech edition of the Shadowscape Tarot, which is really beautiful. The cards are much larger. The Lost Forest, and all of my bags, well, not all of them, I have more than that. And I think that these ones, I had no hesitation in putting them together because I kind of know what's inside. And then we go even further down. We got some little gems like the Cross Magic and, you know, both the FMU Tarot and the True Black Tarot, the Cozy Witch. More bags, including that one. I don't know if you recognize it, is the Bonfire Tarot, the Indie edition. I'm so glad. That was one of my unicorn decks, and I'm so glad that I finally got it. The Bloodmoon Tarot, the Major Arcanas from Leonora Carrington, and then the bottom shelf with some more decks. And, you know, I just tried to put them in such an order, or at least in as much as an order as I can, so I know that Chris Donnelly's decks are together, for example. And I put the two Solaro Colto together. This is the Tarot of the Abyss, the Vampire Tarot. So happy to have that one. More bags. And these are all the tarot decks. And to have a look at the Oracle decks now, I have the same system. So I have shelves and I have a trolley. Although I have to say I need to find some more room because I have more Oracle decks coming in. So I've got a few larger ones there. For example, the Weaver's Oracle, the Fairy's Oracle, the l'Oracle du Soleil Levant, and La Sorcière Guérisseuse, Or Ombre. So I've got a few French decks, and that was thanks to the fact that recently we went to Paris, and Paris is just heaven for tarot deck lovers and collectors, because they do tend to reprint mass market some of the best Oracle decks, especially Oracle decks, but sometimes also tarot decks that have been published indie. So we've got a very old The Enchanted Map. That was the first Oracle deck that I bought here in Australia. So when I moved here back in 2007, at the end of 2007, I didn't have, I had all of my tarot collection and Oracle collections from Europe. But I thought to myself, I need to buy something here, and so I bought that one. Earth Angel Messages. And my favorite so far, so these are the Welbeck decks, and they are photographic decks, but they're absolutely fantastic, and they read as if they were representing an alchemical element. So we got the Sea Soul Journeys, which is about water. We got the Earth Blessings, which is about earth, and the Sky Wisdom, which is about air. And then we got the Dream Ritual cards, which is not about ether. I thought it might be, but I'm waiting for a publication on something for fire, and that will be absolutely fantastic. And then we go to the next level down, which is the bottom level, and I hope the camera picks up because there's not a lot of light. But I've got my Poesis, my Reclaim, my Karma, my Amethyst, which I really love, my Death Doula, my Into the Lonely Woods, the Citadel Tarot, and then another couple of French decks, and then the Companion of Witches, the Threads of Fate, and some more mass market Oracle decks. So these were all of the Oracle decks in the shelves, and now we are moving on to the trolley. So the trolley is here, right next to it, so it's really easy for me to find what I'm looking for. I got all the the Oracle decks, the Scissors of the Witch that have been published so far. a few Blue Angel decks. I have to say these at the top are decks that I tend to use on a regular basis. For example, right now we're doing with my members, we're using the Divine Nature Oracle to read the energies of the week, but we change deck every month. And then I've got the Inner Child Oracle, which was an incredibly positive surprise because it's a really healing deck. And then we've got the Wisdom of the Elders. That was really surprising as well. And because this is a really full trolley right now, so sometimes I have to put decks in between the two rows, which I don't necessarily like to do, but when you don't have space, you don't have space. So I guess I have to. And we got a few in bags. I have to say I have more bags with Oracle decks in than Tarot, which makes it difficult, but I'm thinking about, some of you actually suggested I thought it was brilliant to write on small tags and then put them with the strings in the bags. So the Anamachara Oracle, which is very recent, the Deadly Apothecary, which is absolutely fantastic, the Oracle Rock, the trees, the soul trees, energy archaeology. I've got the Green Glyphs Oracle, which I really, really like. And then at the back, see if I can focus. Yes. So I've got the Wisdom of the Divine Feminine, which I love. And some Gianna della Grottaglia decks, the Zoologica Steampunk, which is really adorable. So the Hollow Woods and the Shadow World are not necessarily Oracle decks. They're supposed to be, how should I say, writing prompts for a story, but they're so beautiful and quirky that I actually use them as Oracle cards. And then proceeding, let's see. So these ones are not just, I say, half of these are Oracle decks, but the other half is about different systems. So you might have your Norman, or for example, Keeper, or the Answer deck. For example, I got 2 copies thanks to a subscriber. Thank you so much, because I really love that deck. It's actually Jumanji, because once you open it, you have to play. The Lost Words, which is also a kind of a game, but it's really interesting when you use it, and as an oracle. And at the back, let me just move this one a little. I got some more oracle decks. The Algariel, for example. I'm so happy that I found it. And that one at the back is a rune deck, and some Italian decks as well. And so this was the trolley for my Oracle decks. These instead are the ones that stay almost permanently on my desk because I'm actually working with my members. We're doing something very specific about the deck and walk. And so we're studying together these books, and those are decks that I'm thinking about using for Taurus 2. I've just filmed and published Taurus 1. Then some more decks I'm going to work with. Some more on my jewelry, especially when it comes to rings, because you all know how much I love rings. And this is my setup, my desk where I'm actually filming. That's my camera. And I really love my skulls. I have a few I have to say. Really love. They're just so companionable, and you wouldn't think, but they really are. Some other trinkets that I use as background. And then, all of my other skulls. But this is more of a Halloween kind of collection, which I really love. And in that, instead, I don't know if you can see, we have all of the Christmas decoration, but unfortunately is against the light, so it doesn't really show much. And then I actually put them back, but we're doing a course with my members. We're doing a course on professional reading. And so normally behind, so this is Jerry. This skull I named him Jerry because I really like his green, and this had to be Larry, so I've got Jerry and Larry. And behind Larry, I usually put the books that I use for my Members Pro, Read Like a Pro course. And that was it. So this is what 512 decks look like. I have to say, today I was going through them because I had an idea on what to pair with a tarot deck that I'm going to review. And I was gutted because I cannot find a couple of Los Scarabeo decks that I had. And after 6 months, I think I went through all of the boxes. I mean, there might be another box in the garage that I may, hopefully go through, but it doesn't. So I lost. I think I have to, just give up and admit that I lost, especially one that I remember, and it's the Art Nouveau Tarot by Los Scarabeo. I had the golden Art Nouveau, but I had the original one. And since I really made it so that I put all of the Los Scarabeo together, I just keep on going through them and I really cannot find them. And so either it might be in one of the bags, so I might go through the bags, but there was another 2 tarot decks that I used to have and I just can't find anymore. So this makes me think that it's probably they're all together in a box somewhere, but after 6 months, I don't know. I mean, I'm not giving up, so we'll see. So that was it. I just have to say a couple of things though. I hope that this is not, let's say, triggering for anyone. I have to say, and I should have said that at the beginning probably, because I know that, and I do the same once. It's the last couple of minutes on a video. I don't always watch it till the end. If you're still here, first of all, thank you. And second of all, I hope that this is not triggering for anyone. I have to say that I started collecting decks 36 years ago. And so this is the fruit of a collection that have been going on for over almost 4 decades. And I highly recommend that if this is triggering, if you feel like you're overwhelmed with the expenses for your collection, or if you feel that even if financially speaking it's not a problem for you, but you still feel like you are buying too many decks, I highly recommend that you seek help. But the reason why I wanted to show this is because it's been 6 months ever since I asked for advice to the tarot community, and so many of you came through for me and you told me what you would have done, and I ended up following most of your suggestions. And so I just wanted to show you what my collection looks like right now. So thanks so much for staying with me till the end of this video. More to come. Have a great day.